So everybody, please join me in welcoming the pastor of congregational care here at FCBC, Pastor Willie Francois III.
Good evening. Good evening. It is a joy to welcome you all to First Corinthian Baptist Church. It is always a signal honor when we can open this space to the real moral architects of America. People who are able to see through the smoke and see through the blood and the fire, to see and fight for a world that is feasible, a world where all people are free. That's why this is a sacred space, and I welcome you to this sacred space. And it is not sacred because of the name that is affixed on the outside. It is not sacred because of the symbols that surround me, but it is sacred because of the work of freedom and justice that it is committed to. Because in this place, we know that we cannot say Jesus without also saying justice simultaneously. So we welcome you to this space, this sacred space. It is sacred because of the work that it does. And so that is why it's important for you to be here today. Because the End Mass Incarceration Network and Dr. Cornel West and Dr. Davies, that is why this space is sacred, because we believe humanity is sacred. We're here today because I'm surrounded. These who are gone too soon, these whose lives are sacred, whose names are sacred, just as sacred as we say Moses and Elijah and Sarah and Rebecca. These names are just as sacred as those. And so we welcome you to this place, a sacred place not because of the cross and not because it is called a church, but a place that is sacred because you are here today. And the divinity that is in you, and the power that is in you, and the sacredness that is in you will now add another flame to this movement to end mass incarceration, because we know police brutality and policing is the front door of mass incarceration. And so we're here today to shut the front door on mass incarceration. We're here today to unravel the threads of hurts that so many families have experienced. And we hope today that Dr. West and Mr. Davey, we hope today that the work that we do here will 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, we can work ourselves out of necessity, because we are people of vision, we are people of hope, and we are people of freedom. So all of the moral architects in this place today, celebrate yourselves for standing for justice. Celebrate yourselves for standing for peace. Celebrate yourself for standing for freedom in the face of ugliness, hatred, and brutality. I close with this. God tells us, well, the word tells us, and they put these words in the mouth of the prophet Micah, that God requires us to do justice and to love mercy and to walk humbly with God. And I've learned recently that that word require, we've softened it a little bit. We've diluted it a little bit, because it's not simply that God wants us to do it or God is requiring us to do it, but literally it means that God yearns for us to do justice. God thirsts for us to do justice. God hungers for us to do justice. And I say with lament in my heart that we have starved God for too long. We have dehydrated God for too long. But today we're here with Mr. Davey and Dr. West to give God a drink and to allow God to feast on our work in this place today. Welcome to FCBC. We love you, and we hope to see you very soon.